What's the plan of action?
We're gonna go for a run. This time the slow run. Because yesterday I got the personal best.
Yes, not world record, not record.
And
Personal best.
yes, you teach me.
Teach me, master.
So we're just gonna do a slow run, and I'm not sure how you call it, but you watch your heart rate. So you go slow because we'll be around 150.
180 minus your age, so how old are you?
24.
So 156.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that will be still, like my heart rate goes up quite high.
So it's a very slow run.
For me, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also have to do that because mine's 152, so. But my heart rate monitor on my watch, it's underneath here. Thank you. My battery's flat and I forgot the charger at her workplace. So that means that I will have to run based off her. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. So what you wear?
So normal pants, t-shirt, vest, I don't know, jacket-ish,
A hoodie.
hoodie. I wear this small jacket because it's very cold.
What's the temperature like outside?
It's 3.5 degrees.
3.5 degrees.
So then I'll put this one in.
What's that one for?
Because this one, it stays better on my face with this one over it. And then, so I can listen to music comfortably.
Yes.
That's it.
So it doesn't actually look like it's 3 degrees outside, but you can see it's very gloomy and doomy. You can't obviously see some of the people in the background, but they've all got hoodies and jerseys and gloves on. Oh, there's old man walking his dog. So you can see it's cold.
So you're wearing now your
Heart rate monitor, so polar watch, polar heart rate monitor. Dressed in South African branding clothing, which I never knew would become useful until now. Next, from Mr. Price Sports. It's like the best place to buy stuff for a good price. So I've got Max tights on at the bottom. The Max tight at the top. Which is this one. And that should keep me warm. Then t-shirts. Another Max t-shirt. So also
you're in style.
Yes. Well, I didn't plan it, but it just happened. I guess these are all the sports shirts that I wear when I want to treat myself. And then obviously, look at the shoes just now.
Are you gonna wear pants there? Or not really? Just to keep your legs warm.
Right?
Yeah.
All the Max pair of shorts. And you got also Max shorts. Not sponsored by them or anything like that.
Almost looks like it now.
Yeah. Max in Netherlands, eh? Max represented in Europe.
No, but I like this style.
But the grey. You always complain that my clothes are too dark anyway.
What I mean, you have a lot, but it still looks good.
Yes, and then obviously, so this is going to be my phone as well running, and then I'll wear my Essex hoodie on top of this one. This is my running hoodie.
It's a really nice one. And then you match your sweater with your shoes, huh?
Yes. I'll show you the shoes now.
With matching shoes.
Yes. Oh, matching, but the same model. Yes. Similar size, what, 4.5? This is the Gel Excite 7s. And then I have also got the Gel Excite 7s. We took our first run of them yesterday. And today will be run number 2. We both beat our personal bests in them yesterday. So why are they a bit different? I don't know. I think they're a bit lighter. But also...
Yeah, they feel quite light.
Happy sauce. So I'm happy. But, yeah. Also have a pair of Essex All. What's your one? I don't know what brand you have. The other one before.
Essex.
We got that at the running shop.
Yeah.
No, it's not Essex. It's, I think it's Saucony's?
I thought it was Essex.
What, your other ones?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Brooks.
Oh. So that was the other very famous brand you talked about, right?
Brooks, yes.
They're very comfortable.
But this
too.
was from the advice from the running shop. For you. But
For the way of my feet are,
Yes.
yeah.
So they advertised these ones, or got these ones suggested. Huh? And then these are my other running shoes. GT4 thousands.
No, these are Essex.
Yes,
So
these
just
ones are
mines are not
Yes.
Essex.
Mine are Essex. I'll convert you. But these ones, there's nothing wrong with them or anything like that. I'm just gonna maybe I'll alternate between them.
Yeah, you need to switch, then they go longer, right? If you switch between shoes.
Yes, so I've got Essex, these ones and these ones. Actually, most of my shoes are Essex now. Even squash shoes are Essex. So I like the brand. Yep, 4 degrees.
But the car said 3.5, so I don't know which one to trust.
This one. Okay, downstairs. This is our warm up, I guess. Go.
Just walk.
Walk. You ready to run?
Just starting my watch. I should probably also do it on Strava, because normally you record it with your watch, but your watch is sort of dead. So I should probably record it, right?
Yes. Well, I think I've got one running, but that would help until I can get the charger.
Yeah. Yo, that was loud.
They're the kids. Is your heart rate still low?
A little bit. It's too high.
Brush dear, pack yourself your favorite blouse. That's all. Okay, so what we're trying today is called the Maffetone running method, and from what I have seen and what I've read and what the videos I've watched, it's more specifically about running to your heart rate, making sure that I guess you build up endurance the right way instead of burning out, instead of injuring yourself to run. And it's actually helped me get into running because I hated it. I always used to have an issue with running in terms of my knees. I think my best time since high school, which was what, 10 years ago, after that, for a 5Ks, if I could even finish a 5K, was around about 45 minutes. So very slow pace, and obviously we'll put a link down to the original video explaining all the theory and stuff like that, but you run at a heart rate of 180 beats per minute minus your age. So I'm 28, so for my runs I should not exceed 152. For Imola, she should not exceed 156, although she's struggling with it, I think, a bit at the moment.
Yeah.
But still, it's about slowing yourself down and still running at or within that range of, I guess, whatever it's going to be, your normal heart rate, and slowing yourself down to less than 180 minus your age. And with that, I think it forces you to slow down. When's the first turn here?
No. Supposed to go only there where cars are. Supposed to.
In my experience, it's forced me to slow down, and you really think about your technique, because it gets to a point where you're really slow and you're wondering if you're actually jogging or you're running. And I think the guy who mentioned this, or the guy who developed this technique or running method, mentioned the fact that just from observation he could see people which were running more efficiently and effortlessly, and that's how he came with the whole correlation of a lower heart rate and more efficient running. So how has it helped us? Yesterday Imola mentioned that she ran a personal best because she was running with me, pushing her, but as I mentioned before that, my 5k time was about 40-45 minutes, because I'm about 89 kgs, and even when I was lighter than that, actually I think 89 is the heaviest I've been in a while. I think 90 when I was like trying to do bodybuilding. But yeah, sitting at 89 kgs right now, and yesterday we did an average of 634 for our 5k, so we finished it in 33 minutes something. So for me, that's also a personal best. Imola caught up, and so she's also enjoying it as well. So it's been a different method, but it sort of helps you enjoy runs a lot more because the next day you're not as sore. You don't really have that I don't know if they call it DOM syndrome, but yeah, it's a more efficient way of running, and we'll try it. And I think that's about it for now. We'll see how we run in terms of average pace at the end of this run, but normally around about now we're 1.9 kilometers in and we're running about 8:28 minutes per kilometer, so it's a nice recovery run compared to what we did yesterday because we pushed ourselves.
Yes.
Bam 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 bam. Okay, so by no means are we any professional runners or anything like that. How did we actually start?
Like, when did we start running?
Yeah.
I think because you like boxing, you did running before, but like I did it on the treadmill in the gym. And I think because of the fact that we couldn't go to the gym to actually exercise and stuff like that, we were like, okay, we should exercise because you eat, and we weren't together that time. I think we did start running as well when we were here first time.
Yeah.
But then we didn't really run like we did now, but one person was running, the other one was on the bike.
No, I think, yeah, so last year when we were here, we met Carl
Yes.
Heisman, and he's a squash player as well, and he actually mentioned that him and his wife actually do sort of this running scheme where I think, how many was it, 3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 or 5.
3 or 5 minutes, I'm not too sure. Their wife will run for 3 or 5 minutes, and then he will run for 3 or 5 minutes, and they've got a bike on the other side. So we actually tried that a bit beginning of the year before lockdown, or the first hard lockdown, and like we would average 3.6 kilometers, not each between the two of us, so we only ran 1.8 each.
Yeah.
Then lockdown happened, and back in SA we couldn't really run. It wasn't allowed as part of the lockdown rules. Did freeletics for a bit. Then obviously for you, it was summertime, and then things started opening up again, so you could go back to gym. And on my side back at home, couldn't really do much. I ordered kettlebells, so I did a lot of skipping, a lot of kettlebell workouts, and then a lot of boxing against, I guess, the wall. And that's why I really actually got into boxing and became a fan of boxing during this whole lockdown period. Not that I didn't do that beforehand. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot beforehand, but I really actually, I won't say developed a passion for it because I'm not a boxer as well. I'm not a professional boxer or anything. But I really got into it in lockdown a lot. I watched a lot more of the old fights, and I think I explained to you, but you didn't get it at all.
No, I don't get boxing, but like I do get the cardio because we also try to do some boxing. Like you try to teach me some technique, not like push, but like actually
punch.
Yeah.
The snap. Bang.
Yeah. So I do get the cardio aspect of it because like your heart rate goes up very fast and it stays high very long. So I do get that, but yeah, as long as you keep on hitting it back, I'm fine. But like, don't hit people.
No, but even with that, I think it was I couldn't play squash anymore, couldn't play hockey anymore. And
your hair.
And I did enjoy lifting weights, but the gyms were closed. And when I looked across, we had a lot of discussions, I think, when we were apart, where we were thinking of, I was thinking, is CrossFit a good idea?
Yeah.
But amongst all the things that went around, I guess at the end of the day, boxing and martial arts, I guess at the end of the day, was the one that I kept on thinking about coming back to. With that as well, I think skipping rope is something I had always been skipping, but I got obviously into the habit of skipping more at home because we couldn't exercise. A lot of different type of strength training, so just basic push-ups, a lot of sit-ups, and a lot of that was boxing specific. A lot of boxers do that. And then what happened actually was, I think when I was watching one of the boxing videos, I came across that whole Maffetone running. And then I was like, well, I know boxers jog, and they don't have to be very fast, runners or anything like that. I know they jog a lot, and it's good for the mental aspect. But in terms of training and stuff like that, I hated jogging. Like I said, 89 kilograms is quite a lot to have on you when you want to go run. I didn't have any sort of technique. I didn't have any sort of approach. I ran when I played squash, obviously at university and stuff like that. But even then, we were never doing distance runs. We were doing a lot more sprints on the court sprints. So your endurance needed to be how many court sprints could you do over 10 minutes in time, right? So it's a lot shorter distance, a lot more shorter bursts, and I love sprints anyway. It's the same thing in hockey. I like running short distances, but it comes to long distances, mental block. So with the Maffetone running method, it was more about, because I didn't know how to gauge it. I didn't know if I should go fast in the beginning, because that was what would happen. You're fresh, you start off quickly, first 500 meters, you're like, oh, this is easy. Get to 1K, and it's like this dip. And that's why I said I'll still run a 5K in 40 minutes at that time, because I'd run quickly first, and then it's a struggle towards the end. And I even remember during lockdown, the one time, like, I would go through it, and it's fine for the first 3 kilometers. And then I told you, like, then I'll do light pole. So I'd run one light pole, walk another light pole, run one light pole, walk another light pole.
Like more interval.
Interval type running. But even then, that wasn't the greatest. And then, as I said, the Maffetone running method was more about running at a consistent heart rate in your fat burning zone, working on your technique by forcing yourself to run slower. And a lot of the people, not only did it get them to run, a lot of people which are professional runners as well, how they actually improved their personal best was actually by running slower. So I was like, well, it's not for rookies, it's not for professionals. At the same time, it's for anyone, so might as well try it. And then that made running a lot easier for me. For you, I think in your head.
I struggle with keeping my heart rate down. Like, it goes up very quickly, my heart rate. Like, even today, it was 170, and I really had to go slower and watch my breathing to get it under 160, which barely.
What is your average?
I'm not sure.
You watched it?
Let me check.
I think my average was 143 beats per minute, which is well under.
Average 159.
It's actually not that bad.
So
yeah, you're supposed to be at 156.
Yeah.
So you actually did
159. Not too bad.
Much better than last time.
But still, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so she just keeps on running anyway, or she just sort of in her head she used to run a lot for gymnastics, right?
Yeah, so in summer times for warm-up or for just strength and conditioning, we went outside and we just run, and you don't go slow. I mean, you go fast, and they keep on pushing you another lap. So, like, for me to just go and keep on going, it's like in me. Like, yesterday was tough for me. Like, I struggled with my breathing, and I think I was just a bit too warm at the end, and I had a bit of,
from the cold weather.
Yeah.
Phlegm.
But yeah.
No, but I think also, so yeah, you've always been running, and also you what, 59 kg, so you're quite light. It's not.
I hope it's still 59 after Christmas and New Year's and food and
yeah,
stuff.
but it's not a strain, like, you're average weight for a lady, your height.
I'm considered healthy, my BMI.
Yeah, I'm considered overweight, 89 kgs.
Muscle.
Yeah, not really, not all of it. It's 24% body fat. But one of the places where we actually started running a lot more was in Zambia.
Yeah.
We were on a farm with Alex and his girlfriend Morgan, and gyms weren't open. It's still pandemic and it's expensive. We were there for 4 months, and it was just a hassle.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, sorry.
1 month.
Yeah, 1 month.
I wish we were there for 4 months.
It was just a hassle actually to try find somewhere else that you could work out. We did a few workouts in the backyard and stuff like that, but one of the things that we could do, we started by walking, or we'd take walks during lunchtime, and then in the evenings, we started running, and that's where we did our first Maffetone run, she did.
It was 4K, wasn't it? And we went to that farm place and came back.
Yes. So we started doing that, and then after that, we were like, oh well, fine. Like, at the end of the day, it's actually enjoyable running. Doesn't matter what the distance is, I guess. It's enjoyable running, but if you're doing it at a slow pace, because you're not feeling that pain from pushing hard the next day. So we could take 3 or 4 runs in a row, and that's actually what I guess kickstarted it.
So we could still do a daily exercise, because Nana has a job as a developer, so he is behind his laptop the whole day, so you sit down the whole day, which means that, you know, you still eat and stuff like normal, so we really felt like we had to exercise, you know, at least do some sort of exercise during the day. And the easiest thing is just the running, because we can do it everywhere.
Yeah, and I think that's why we, at the end of the day, not sticking to it. I think running is going to be a very important part of our new lifestyle going into 2021. The reason being is that you just need a pair of shoes, and you can run almost anywhere. So if she comes to SA, you don't have to sign up if we want to go to another location or something like that, because my work allows me to. Or we want to go to Zambia, we want to go to any other country, we can take a pair of running shoes with and still do some sort of exercise. Not every place will have gyms that you can sign up for a week, or you know, you might not always have the facilities, and at least you can always jog and you can do that together. You know, we had thought of stuff like maybe squash, but the thing is that, 1, it's expensive in the Netherlands. 2, it's not always convenient like it is in Queenstown. I stayed 3 or 4 blocks away from a squash court, my old school squash court. So that's easy. She started to play squash a little bit. So like, I think in a different circumstance, if like those things were easy, and even here in the Netherlands, like €10 for 45 minutes to play. So if those things were easy, maybe we would have probably done that as a sport.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah. She works at a gym, so there's always a treadmill there. We will never stop lifting some sort of weights or doing some sort of strength training, but at the end of the day, like today, we didn't do any sort of strength training, but we went for a run. So yeah, it's just convenient and it's healthy. You know, I think at the time when we went to Cape Town with Ronald, he was going on about the Strava application, about how you know, it helps him with his running and stuff. We didn't understand it, but now that we've started doing it a lot more, we're also part of the Strava community. And yeah, it's quite nice to see your friends and how well they're doing, and also some place that keeps your runs and tracks your runs.
And I think also from Strava, it's really cool that you can tag your partner you've been running with. So for example, Nana, his watch was sort of empty today, so he cannot sync it, but I did a run with my watch, but I also did it on Strava itself, so I can tag Nana in it, so you can still keep up, you know, with the data. So
yeah, so that's the cool part, because you can sort of put your gear on there, like you can say, well, I am running with these shoes, and it keeps a track record of how many kilometers you've done in your shoes. And even suggest that, well, you know, between 400 and 600 kilometers, you should retire your shoes in order to avoid injury. Something I never knew. Before that, I was running with the same shoes for about 3 years. My previous pair of Asics, and I'm not saying I did 500 kilometers, but like I think over 3 years, you might have done quite a bit. And maybe that's why I was not getting injuries. But yeah, I just didn't have an approach to running. So yeah, it's something that we getting into now, I think, in terms of 2021. And just 2020 with the whole pandemic and stuff, we said we wanted to be healthier. So that meant a lot more focusing on our diets, even though I eat a lot of snacks. But actually running enables me to eat a lot more snacks anyway. So that's actually quite nice. I can like stay on the same level playing field, unless I decide I want to drop weight. Then I stop eating snacks. But
yeah. But another thing is that we'd like, now we did an afternoon run, but normally we try run in the mornings. And we don't eat breakfast, right? So we only eat lunch, and we have a big lunch usually. Today we had like a big chicken curry, very nice one, very spicy. Credits. But so now we take a run, and in the evenings we just take a few snacks, but not like a big meal. So sort of balance it out.
Yeah. And then obviously there'll be stuff like things that we have been getting into. Like obviously making shakes for recovery, eating a lot of eggs. So like today at lunchtime, as with the curry, we polished, I think it was 3.5 eggs each. Not that it's a lot. I know some people eat like, 20 a day, but they're rugby players and stuff. But yeah, that's a healthy source of protein and stuff like that. So I think all in all, it just ties everything up nicely. The type of training we used to have, the type of lifestyle we want to live, the type of diet that accompanies this lifestyle, for us to keep on running. Because yeah, we ran yesterday. That's where we did our PBs, personal bests, and then we had a bit of muscle aches. And then obviously we know that we need to eat a lot of egg whites just to make sure we repair our muscles with those amino acids and stuff like that. So it's something new. When I say new, obviously for us, 2-3 months that we've been doing it now, that we've been running.
Yeah.
And actually recording it and keeping record of it, and it's actually quite nice. It's not something that, you know, is a drastic rise and then you basically stop doing it completely. I think it helps us keep healthy as well, especially with this pandemic and stuff. You never know if you catch anything. You could catch it any other way, and I guess running every day is a good gauge. One, to keep yourself healthy, but two, at least you know, well, if I can't run today or something feels off, then there's something wrong with your body. I notice that a lot, depending what I eat the night before will affect how I run the next day. So if I ate a bit too much snacks, you know, a lot more sugar and stuff like that, I don't have the energy to carry on with the run. Meanwhile, if I had a good salad, you know, some rice, some chicken when I was at Mom or here, if I've had a very good meal, then it's much easier to run. You know, I've got the energy to push through my barriers. And I think that's the other part about it. As much as running can be competitive, it's also just one thing I found about it is it's about yourself. You know your pace, you'll know what you can do, what you can't do, what will make you injured. And as much as, yes, you want to compete with everyone else, you know, you have to gauge yourself every single time. While you are running, you're a lot more self-aware, whereas with squash and hockey, it depends on a lot of other factors, you know, how well your opponent is playing, you know, his style of play and stuff like that. So you have to worry a lot about everyone else. But with running, I guess, at the end of the day, the way we're doing it now, it's about you. You have to monitor yourself, which is, yeah, quite different, quite cool. And yeah, I think that is one of our goals for 2021 is to try keep this running lifestyle, I guess. Try get better at it. Not really performance or anything like that, but yeah, just do it a lot more consistently, get more runs under our belt every week. And that's another thing, Strava makes it quite easy because you can sort of join clubs. So like we did the December 5K club, which your target was literally just to run a 5K in December. For 2021, I've joined the 1,000 kilometer club. I don't know if you can join any.
Not yet.
Yeah, so by the end of 2021, I want to run 1,000 kilometers. So yeah, that's one of the clubs I joined. And what happens is every month there'll be new ones. You know, some of them will say run 100 kilometers in this month. You obviously choose what you want to do, what you can commit to. And yeah, so the goal this year will be to run 1,000 kilometers by the end of 2021. If I do that, you'll obviously find out, I guess. And yeah, I don't know if you got any challenges that you want to, or clubs you want to join.
Well, I saw for December, but that's not possible anymore, but the 10K. I think I definitely want to try a 10K once, you know, leading up to maybe end of next month, maybe end of Jan or something.
You want to do a 10K by the end of Jan?
I think that should be possible, yeah. So let's see where the running brings us. What are you making?
Shake for recovery.
Recovery shake.
Yes.
Whey.
Okie. Yes, whey protein isolate. Some vanilla. We've got some vanilla yogurt and some milk. Okay, so let's try 2 scoops of whey.
Oh. That's a lot.
Yeah, but it's for both of us, so.
I'm gonna have this too.
On cherry?
I'll try. I just never had protein before.
Oh, it's just protein.
Blueberries.
Milk. And some vanilla flour.
No, it's yogurt.
Some vanilla flour.
This is yogurt. So it always has to like reach the top, right?
Not really. I just play it by ear, I guess. Just like it. I think it's smashed by now. Nice and smooth in the ears.
And?
Actually quite nice. Very fluffy.
Fluffy. As in thick.
Because of some of the protein, but that's fine.
Jog. It's so cold. Why do you just do that?
You might find a blueberry or two inside.
Cheers.
Prost.
Proost. Jo, dat is a lot.